Be sure to go to flipsidegaming.com and use promo code 6 for 10% off on orders over $10. Do the same at the Grizzly Gentleman, same promo code, 10% off at checkout. Both of these are fantastic deals, and they help support the show. What is up, Planeswalkers 36 back for more Magic the Gathering Arena, more historic today. We're playing red-black rakdos sack, but I do have a white-black version that I want to play at some point. I initially wanted to have it Mardu, but it was hard enough to cut it down to this. I've been modifying so many EDH decks recently that it's real hard dealing with 60-card decks as opposed to the good old-fashioned 100. But this is kind of your normal rakdos sacrifice deck, except I try and put more of an emphasis on, I tried to put more of an emphasis on having, like, some creature tokens, some things that are gonna stick around longer than necessarily, like, going the normal route of Kroxa and the 3-mana Chandra, etc., etc. I also am running only 20 lands. I am running 3 Phyrexian Towers. I'm not sure if I am able to cut down to fewer than 20, but for right now, I'm just going to stick with 20. Phyrexian Tower is real nice because it does allow me to hop from a 1-drop, say, Grim Initiate. I can play this on turn 2. Turn 1 Mountain, Grim Initiate, turn 2 Tower, Bastion of Remembrance. So that is some nice value there. But in general, it is very similar to the normal things. We got 4 Cauldron Familiar, 4 Witches' Ovens. We don't have any Claim the Firstborn, because the plan of this deck isn't necessarily to, mess with our opponents all that much. The plan of this deck is to just get a lot of triggers with Blood Artist, Bastion of Remembrance, and Mayhem Devil. So just having access to that pseudo-infinite sacrifice effect being available is quite nice. 3 Serrated Scorpions and 3 Grim Initiates. I like the Scorpion because of the fact that it deals damage to your opponent and it gains you some life, but I like the Grim Initiate because it does come with an additional body that we can sack as well. 3 Village Rites allows us to sack a creature that is about to die to something our opponent's going to do and draw 2 cards, always very nice to have. 4 Blood Artists. It drains the opponent whenever something dies, including something of our opponent's, which is very nice. Goblin Instigator. This makes 2 Gobos. Now, technically, you could do Dragon Fodder. It's very similar. Obviously, they are slightly different. One is a creature, one is a sorcery. So they do have different countermeasures that your opponents can use. But initially, I went with Instigator. I cut Dragon Fodder first because I was going to attempt to have 4 drops in this deck, which would include the Nightmare Shepherd, but I ended up not going with that. So technically this is a little bit better with Shepherd, whereas Fodder isn't. So, depending on what you have or what you prefer to play with can kind of determine which of these you use. But essentially it's 1 card for 2 bodies. 4 Priest of Forgotten Gods. We sack things, we draw cards. We add mana, our opponents lose life. It's great. It's great. 3 Bastion of Remembrance. It comes with a creature and it does Blood Artist as well. Essentially, we don't have to target, which is something that might come up theoretically if your opponent has something like Shalai. Then your Blood Artist isn't going to be very effective, and you might notice that we don't have any way of dealing with something like Shalai. We have no removal because removal is for cowards. But Bastion of Remembrance can get through there and just hurts them because it's each opponent. 4 Woe Striders because we want to have free sacrifices available. It comes with its own sacrifice fodder. It allows us to scry. We can escape it later in the game just in case things go poorly, etc., etc. Always nice to have. And then, of course, 4 Mayhem Devils. Whenever a player sacrifices a permanent, it deals 1 damage to any target. This includes your opponent, so if your opponent uses a Fabled Passage or literally anything else, it allows you to deal a little bit extra damage. This deck is not exactly immune to board wipes as much as the white-black version would be. The white-black version would have a lot more cards that... actually, I'm just gonna... This is the red-black deck. It has some immunity in that you can get damage through if your opponent board wipes you, but the white-black version would have cards such as Garrison Cat, Hunted Witness, Selfless Savior, that would allow your creatures to stay around, for not necessarily stay around, but you would be left with a board presence. So there are definite pluses and minuses to playing the redless version versus the whiteless version, but we're starting with the whiteless version just because that is the one that I happen to finish first. Let's ease on down the road and see what we can fight today. We're going to fight the arena client, apparently. Zack Fair, if I recall correctly, and this is just from being friends with someone in high school, I think Zack Fair is a character from Final Fantasy. I want to say 7 or 8, but I don't actually know. I've played a countable number of Final Fantasies. I'll keep it. It's not the best. If we can get Black Source, then it might be decent. Fabled Passage is going to be... oh, fantastic. It doesn't have to be anything. So if I want, I can get a Mayhem Devil out, but I think I would rather just play Phyrexian Tower. Never mind. So they're playing Mardu. This might be another of the Mardu... I think I will go ahead and get a mountain. I will play Witch's Oven now. I assume this is going to be either a Mardu Sacrifice deck or a Mardu Control style deck, where they attempt to ramp into things like Ugin and whatnot. Nope, it's a sack. That's creatures you control. Okay. Gotta get that dank value here. So, let's see. I can play Phyrexian Tower, sacrifice. So I can go get a red source now. I guess I might as well. Because I don't think I can technically play Mayhem Devil and sequence it in such a way that allows me to still have Cauldron Familiar like actively. So I think I am just gonna go use this and grab a Mountain. Play this into, so I can have double black. So I could cast Priest. So I could play Goblin Instigator and cast Priest, or I can just play Mayhem Devil. Do I want to play Mayhem Devil or Bastion of Remembrance? I think I would rather play Mayhem Devil, because if they start trying to sack things, then I can get some nice dabblage through. I'm just gonna pass here. I don't want to necessarily start any stuff before I need to. You know, I'll be able to answer a Priest of Forgotten Gods here or Woe Strider or something. Shadow of the Sky is very, very unfortunate. I did not expect that from a deck like this. Let's see. So I can sacrifice Cauldron. I can sacrifice Familiar. Hit them in the face. I guess I might as well just sacrifice Mayhem Devil to hit them in the face. I don't think it technically matters, because I'll need to get Familiar back anyway, so yeah. This at least gives me something. And I can just put this back in. Blood Artist is nice to see. So I'll play this. Then I will cast Blood Artist. Sacking this. Then I will attack for 1. This is kind of the idea of the deck, is you just do some annoying things. This isn't... What? It's a reanimation deck? Why are you playing Bastion of Remembrance? I'm so very confused. So, I guess it's a reanimation deck. Just using very weird cards. I mean, I'm gonna force them to have another Maybe I should have just been playing the Bastion of Remembrance already. But I'm just gonna do this again. They're at 8, and I can just drain them with Cauldron Familiar. And, Jesus, this is just kill everything. Deck. I mean, I was correct in that it is a. Yeah, I'm just gonna play Bastion of Remembrance. I should have played it a while ago, but I didn't because I'm dumb. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'm just gonna play Bastion. Yeah, whatever, it's fine. So now I get to deal more damage with my Witch's Oven. Yeah. That's the resiliency we like to see in a sacrifice deck. You know, I'm not going for super all-in aggressive. I'm just going for that long-term, just every turn draining them a little and a little. And that was kind of the resiliency I was talking about against the board wipes. Now, I do still think that the Orzhov version would have more resiliency there, but I liked that level of resiliency. I played a deck that was white and black. I think I've told the story before, but you know, it's not terrible to repeat it. Back when Scars of Mirrodin and Innistrad were in Standard, and I played with Blood Artist in a Pure Steel Paladin deck. So it was a cross between using the Mortar Pod and the weird hand one, the 1-mana one, I can't remember, the Living Weapons. Damn, this is a really good hand. I don't want to yeet any of this. I think I'm going to yeet Instigator. Because I want access to the Village Rites. Now, obviously, it is dangerous to put my Familiar out here before I can necessarily do something with it. Ugh. Unfortunate. Temur ramp. Probably aren't going to be able to... Well, I don't know. I have Mayhem Devil. Yeah, it's fine. I forced him to block it. Well, I don't know what I have. Uro. Risen Reef. Okay. It's different, at least. Do I want to expose my Mayhem Devil? That is a good question. I'm honestly not sure that I do. Because I need my Mayhem Devil. I'm going to pass the turn. Next turn, I can play Mayhem Devil, sack my Fabled Passage, and use Village Rites. So I can shoot both of those down. I meant to hit Resolve All. Okay. So we'll play Mayhem Devil here. This is on enters. Yeah. Cav. Cav is unfortunate. But luckily, I don't technically need it. I just need to draw more of my higher value drainy things. Like this. Genesis Ultimatum. Alright. So yeah, this is just Temur Elementals. So not nearly as awful. The world is not as ending as it could have. Yeah, here I'm just gonna go ahead and pass the turn. Uh-oh. Alright, so I can kill my Priest of Forgotten Gods. Yeah. Darn. Unfortunately, sometimes it just be that way. Two more mana? Rust. Yeah, I can't kill your Omnath regardless, so I do not necessarily know what the issue is. That said, I do have some innate resilience here. I'm probably going to sacrifice. I'm probably going to sacrifice a lot of things. I hate you. I hate you, Ugin, so much. Why would they print you? They can just do X equals 3. Yeah. So that's what, 4? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can technically deal 7 damage to my opponent's face. Or I can deal 3 and kill Ugin. I'm going to start by dealing 3 to my opponent's face. I don't even know what I'm looking for. I guess I'm looking for Witch's Oven. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and kill Ugin.
Your fate is sealed.
Yeah, I think I have to get Witch's Oven here.
What a curious choice. You disturb this world's balance. I have greater matters to attend.
I have to have Witch's Oven. I don't think I can win without it. Like, Witch's Oven into Witch's Oven, I think, is like one of the only ways I can still hope to win this. Maybe not. I don't even know what turn it is. I'm sure I missed a number of land drops. But still. Well, my opponent triple that. Yeah, I mean, I think I have to have... Oh my gosh. We'll see if it helps. I suspect it still isn't going to be enough. For a number of reasons, but... Oh, he has enough for both. Oh my gosh. This level of greed should not be allowed. And what I mean by that is, that deck was just greed incarnate. But the cards that Wizards has been printing allows the ramp decks to really just not care at all about the ramifications, the implications of facing an aggressive opponent, right? Arbor Elf allows you to just block a lot of things early on. Growth Spiral draws you into potentially some better cards that you're going to be able to use. Words are hard. Uro gives you that bonus of Lifegain. So we're going to be against a Lifegain deck. Oh no! We're probably dead. Gonna go get a swamp. going to play... I'll play the 2-drop. Because it's technically less prohibitive to cast... Well, doing this means I could have technically killed Serra Ascendant and still had a body. Although they're probably not going to attack me with Serra Ascendant. They are. I think I've seen a number of the decks have that one where it gives... Alright, well, not that. That's a oof. That's a pretty good draw from them. You know, they went first. Had some good moving parts. I could actually probably get away with not having as many Dragonskull Summits. Yeah, I'll do it like that. I know that's literally a 2-card change, but still. It's all in the numbers. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm very hungry. I don't know what I'm gonna eat today. My phone is on very loud because I never turned it off. There we go. This hand is acceptable. We're going against another sacrifice deck, because apparently Giganta decks are all sacrifice decks now. Oh my gosh, it's not a sacrifice deck. Praise be. I just realized I don't have a 1-drop or a 2-drop. Yikes. Wait, was I wrong the first time? Oh, it's an enchantment deck. Okay. That's cool. I'm gonna play this tapped and pass the turn. Oh. It's a shrine deck. Shoot. I just realized that how many lands I've been drawing. See if they want that trade. They don't. Good. I didn't think that they would. So, despite getting a lot of mana here, I'm hoping I can still do something. I'm not confident. I gotta let you know. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm very much not confident anymore. I mean, double Village Rites is kind of nice to see, but... Okay. Do I play the other one now, though? I think I do. If they target Woe Strider, I use Witch's Oven to sack Woe Strider. If they target a Mayhem Devil. Yeah, so they are going to target Mayhem Devil. Do I sacrifice the Mayhem Devil? Yeah. Priest of Forgotten Gods. It's too slow. It's just gonna die to Handan. God, they're back to 18. Oh man, it's so difficult. And they have Clarion. And yeah, I can't win that one. Oh, that sucks. I think we go Instigator, Woe Strider, then Blood Artist. Temple of Enlightenment, no Yorion. I assume this is going to be Esper Control. Maybe it's just Azorius Control. It's probably going to get countered. So I guess I'll attack first, because I would rather the Woe Strider resolve than care about any of these getting messed with. Yeah. We have several of them, but I assume this will get countered. It didn't! Yay! I then assume that it will get bounced? No, Teferi bounce would leave Teferi vulnerable. Although maybe it's just a tempo loss so that I... Well, never mind. Interesting. I'd like to see Witches of it. For what it's worth, I should have played that first. I will play the Blood Artist. I will attack. Which targets? Woe Strider. I'm sacrificing the goat so I can scry. That's absolutely fine with me. And then I'll sack the Witches of it, or I'll use the Witches of it to sack. So I do want to keep this on top. So I'm not going to crack Fabled Passage. I repeat to myself, I'm not going to crack the Fabled Passage. They can, that's fine. I suspect that we might see a Shatter the Sky in my future. Okay, there's a Tefers.
If you show remorse, I'll show restraint.
What do you do, Tefers? They missed a land drop. Bounce the artist, sure.
Don't worry.
I can recast. Yeah, I can recast the artist. The way I do that is first I sack this. Well, I don't have to do it first, but I'll sack this first. Grab a Swamp. Play Bastion of Remembrance. Get a thing. Use the tower. Sack this. For Blood Artist. Go to combat. Attack you. And attack you. And attack you.
You just let me know if you're up for round 2.
Now this is 6 damage. 3 for Blood Artist, 3 for Bastion. I was if they target just Blood Artist, it's not as good, but if they just shatter, then I can and will sacrifice a Goblin token, just because getting the food means that later down the line we might be able to utilize it for sacrificing something else. The resiliency of aristocrats is meant to help it against control decks. So we're going to play the familiar here, which is quite nice. This is a nice repeatable loop that we have access to potentially. We wanted to play this with as much mana open as possible, because having this resolve, I think, is a little bit more important. Brazen Borrower on the Witch's Oven. Interesting. I can just recast it, though. They might counter it, I suppose? I can play 3 for this. No, just Dovin's Veto. That is fine. I'm actually going to sack the Cauldron Familiar here, because I do have 1 food token for it. And I want to be able to hit as much damage that's already on the ground as possible. Down to 9. I get a goat. Attack with these 2. And this is some amount of damage here. This is actually, I think, lethal. I shouldn't have let them untap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, this is lethal. I shouldn't have let them untap. If I lose because of that, just know I'm dumb. And I thought math was for blockers, but apparently math is also for sackers. Also, if you're wondering about why I named this deck Back, Sack, and Crack, it's because of the Northern Lion group. At this point, I probably consume that group's media more than other YouTube content. Shadow the Sky. All right, that's fine. So we'll do this. Boop, boop. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's a whole thing because of all the triggers. Yeah, I don't care. I didn't have to sacrifice things. I'm such a bad person. I didn't have to sack. They would have triggered anyway. They weren't getting exiled. Oh my goodness. I'm such a bad person. They were gonna die anyway. I didn't have to sacrifice them. Opponent, I'm very sorry for my transgressions. Goodness. And Temple. Not Temple. Mythic, then? No. Sure. Don't know what that was about. Anyway, I'd like to thank my lovely patrons, especially Fogwind, for the continued support. Once again, I would like to point you to the description of this video, where you'll see a link to my second channel, where I play other games, other card games, including Legends of Runeterra, as well as long-form content like Stone Shard and hopefully soon Hollow Knight Silksong. Obviously, nothing's there right now, except for the first episode of Season 2 of Stone Shard. So please check that out if you like me and want to see me play more interesting games. You know, horror games can be on there. Pretty much anything goes. Head over there, subscribe, all the good stuff. Hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff really does help. I cannot stress that enough. Until next time, all will be one.